I'm gonna take a sip of
Hey,
water.
welcome everybody. My name is Michael Camo. I'm director of content for T3 Live. I'm here with my good friend Sami Abusaad, and we are here to talk about all the hot stuff in the market, especially Bitcoin. Crypto has been going wild. We're going to talk about Bitcoin. We're going to talk about biotech. We are going to talk about small caps and all of the interesting stuff that's going on in the market right now because there's lots and lots of action, especially today after the PCE report. So let's get right into it. So, Sami, my good friend, how are you doing today?
Doing great, thank you.
Okay, how's the market been treating you this week?
Uh, it's been amazing, especially if you've been in Bitcoin and anything Bitcoin related, has been really good.
Okay, so yeah, so let's get right into Bitcoin. So Bitcoin's been it's been kind of going crazy. I think it hit 64,100 yesterday. I don't know if you want to pull up your charts,
Oh yeah,
but we yeah,
yeah.
we definitely want Sammy the expert's take because he's been trading crypto for way longer than most people. So we definitely want his take on it. And I know I'm pretty sure he's active in the ETFs. So he is just pulling up his charts. And again, later on, we're going to get into biotech. We're going to get into small caps and all the other hot stuff that's going on in this market. Take
Got
a
my charts.
Let's take a quick look at what's going on today. Okay, we have MSOS is coming back. The semis are up. We saw AMD flying. Sammy, do you think you need to hit the present button to
Yep,
start sharing your charts?
we'll do it right
We have
now.
we have KRE is up. Biotech is taking the day off. Biotech's been going wild. Uranium's also taking the day off. ARC is down probably because of coin. And we will get into this in just 1 second. Okay, so Sammy, let's talk about. Okay, we can use either Bitcoin itself or Beto, but what is going on in Bitcoin right now?
So okay, Bitcoin reached target yesterday at $29. It made it 20 hours. I called it in the newsletter, and yesterday reached target. Now, it also happened to go climactic a little bit. And so up, and you can see the spike in volume. So that's a good place to take profit. Okay. And so I happened to pick $29 as the target on Bitcoin on Beto, which I called in the newsletter over $18 back here. Because if you zoom out a little bit, you'll see that it hit that major resistance area. So a few months ago, when I called Bitcoin Beto long, I picked 29 as the target, and yesterday reached that target point, and it went totally climactic. So it was a good area to take profit. Ultimately, I think Bitcoin will get to the all-time high, but for now, I think we've seen the top for now on in Bitcoin. We talked about Coinbase also a couple of weeks ago, more than a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah,
Uh,
on February 8th, Sammy said specifically he said he likes coin better than Bitcoin itself, and I think it must be up like 50%, something crazy like that since then.
I mean, from the entry was at 120.90 over one. So this bar's high is 120.89. So above it was the entry. It basically doubled. It really doubled. I trailed out. I have 450 shares. I trailed out of 150 today under 197.50, which is this bar's low. It's 197.66. So I'm out of 150 shares. I think I should get out of more, probably, like instead of a third, and maybe I should get out of half. But look at the monthly chart on Beto on Coinbase. I honestly think it's headed to 300, and I also specifically think it's headed to 300 because I think Bitcoin is not done yet. I think Bitcoin is gonna blow through the all-time high. So I'd hate to get out of it since I got such a good entry on it, but I also know that it reached at least a target, or at least I should take some. So I took a third today, or 150 shares out of 450. That's a third. So we'll see. But I hope I'm not making a mistake by keeping 300 shares. That's $60,000.
Okay. So I think this is interesting because I'm actually wondering if are you breaking any rules right now? Because at least most people say, you should focus on where it's going from here, not necessarily where it's come from. So how does that play into your whole system?
Look, anytime a stock goes climactic like this, and you don't take any profit, then you could be making a major mistake. TMF the other day, I made the same mistake. I didn't take profit on this climactic run up, and then the next day, a big gap down. I waited for a bounce. I never got it. I had to kill it. So anytime a stock that you're in goes vertical like this, it, like 8 out of 10 times, 9 out of 10 times, you're better off taking some sort of profit. And I think, again, this is almost not sustainable. 100% rally in 3 weeks or so, and also coinciding with the short-term top in Bitcoin itself. So I think it's a good place to take some profit on coin.
Okay, we also saw there was this news story about Coinbase actually crashing from all the Now, to me, that set off alarm bells. I was like, okay, Webull is going public in a SPAC, and at the same time, Coinbase is crashing because there's so much traffic, because so many people are trading. Do you ever pay attention to news stories like that, or is it just like, all right, I just have to stick to my charts because that's the discipline?
Somebody in the room mentioned that Coinbase is having a glitch, and that it was suggested as a short. What's his name from Andrew Left, I think, suggested it as a short and Bitcoin long, because there's more to Bitcoin than there is to Coinbase. And I'm like, that is the stupidest idea I've ever heard. Why would I want to short Bitcoin? So they're suggesting it as a hedge, as an arbitrage play. So short Coinbase because it's not as interesting as Bitcoin, and go long Bitcoin. They will both go down together or go up together. But in answer to your question, yeah, I don't pay attention to news items like this. That's just short-term thing. It's already fixed. The problem, the glitch that Coinbase had yesterday is already fixed. If I'm going to hedge, I suggested BITI, which is the inverse for Bitcoin. That's how I would hedge. I wouldn't short Coinbase. I would just play BT long. If you look in the strategic day trader room, I suggested it long at 62 or 64. Stop under 52. So it's already up 3 Rs, or 3 times the risk, basically, on BT, because it's climactic, and I can see Bitcoin, rolling over big time. So I suggested the BT long, but mostly as a hedge, really, not because I love the setup. This morning, I typed it into the room, but I wouldn't short Coinbase. As a result, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like a case of overthinking it and giving yourself the opportunity to be wrong in both places. So it's okay. So I think this is an interesting topic, the whole idea of hedging, because when I look at trading, I think often that hedging makes no sense, because like if you're going to be long Coinbase and short something else, why not just own less Coinbase, and then you only have one thing to worry about? Like if you're really worried about you have too much Coinbase, why not just own less Coinbase?
Because sometimes, so I agree 100%. 90% of the time when I hedge, I lose on the hedge. 90% of the time, probably. But the reason why sometimes it comes in handy, or it's an interesting idea, is because what if you're not sure you want to sell? Like, you see that Coinbase or Bitcoin is topping, but you're not really sure. You say, well, instead of selling my position, because once you're out, you're out. Instead of selling my position, let me put on a hedge. And if the hedge fails, then I've, okay, I lost on the hedge, but I didn't let go of my long-term position. So that's the way I use the hedging for. That's how I use it. But 90% of the time, when I hedge, I'm always wrong on the hedge, which means I lost on I bought insurance and I lost on it. So most of the time, you're right. You're better off just if you don't like the position anymore, get out of it, but don't hedge. Most of the time, you're absolutely right, Mike.
You see that? Sammy said that I'm absolutely right. I'm going to remember that for a long time. Okay, so Sammy, so overall in your crypto trading, since we have all the ETFs coming out, are you moving less away from pure Bitcoin and are you focusing more on the ETFs now?
100%. Why would I want to pay commission? Why would I want to take the spread? Because they add spread a lot of the exchanges. You got the ETFs for free, of course. In fact, Beto has been paying 15%. So we got dividend distribution 3 times while we've been holding it. So why would I want to, let that go? So yeah, no, I would rather do the ETFs than the actual crypto.
Okay, so let's kind of get your bottom line on the crypto names here. So you still like Coinbase
I
and
still like
Bitcoin
Coinbase
itself?
for 300, and I like Bitcoin to make new highs, but not, I mean, I don't like them here. I mean, it's too late to get in. But yeah, I ultimately I like them higher. Some of the altcoins are also, I'm looking over here on my right because that's where the crypto charts are. Some of the altcoins are really looking good, like Polkadot, Dogecoin, but it's a little bit late. I mentioned it in the coaching this week, Dogecoin, that it looked really good, and now I didn't get it myself, and now I'm kicking myself because it almost doubled. So some of the altcoins look pretty good, but I wouldn't be getting into Bitcoin here. Notice, by the way, Coinbase did not drop. It's not dropping. Bitcoin is dropping. So the idea of shorting Coinbase and buying Bitcoin because there's more to Bitcoin than there is to Coinbase, that's like trying to sound smart, and it's the most idiotic thing I've ever heard. So notice again, Coinbase didn't drop at all, while Bitcoin crashed a little bit here.
Okay, all right. Let's move on to biotech. So XBI has been on fire, and then it looks like today it is taking a little break after the PCE data. It popped very momentarily, and then it has come back down to earth. So, what are you seeing with XBI now?
I think XBI looks beautiful on the daily, looks beautiful on the weekly, but I'm afraid it might have reached target one for now. And gorgeous on the monthly. Looks higher to 130 eventually. You see the transition happening. That's the 20 period moving average. And when it starts to curl like this, that's what you want. That's when you want to get in long. For example, we got into OKTA yesterday before earnings. I'm keeping it. Notice the curl. I got into GDRX. Notice the curl on that 20 MA on the monthly chart. Coinbase. Why do you think I got it to begin with? Again, notice that transition A breakout happening that happened back here. So I really like the XBI, but at the same time, I feel like it might have, it might be time to like ring the cash register. If I was in it, I'm not in it, but ultimately it should be higher to 120, maybe even 130 on the XBI. But for now, it might be target one. It might be like a good time to take profit.
Okay. What about, I don't know, are you watching this VKTX?
Yes, I'm not doing anything with it, but we played it as an earnings play way back here. So last quarter I played it. Oh no, this quarter actually. This quarter I played it as an earnings play, and it had a nice pop, but we only held it for one day. It went up like 70. No, it went up 200 or 300% since then. I think this is probably the top on the VKTX for now. Should be the top. I'd be shocked if it made new highs. Now, if the stock is, I don't like if the stock is up a lot, it doesn't mean it's topped out. But when it goes vertical, it's a different story. For example, I just called AMD long today in the newsletter. You might look at the AMD and say, AMD, isn't that up 3 months in a row? Yes, but it didn't accelerate. It didn't go climactic. So AMD right now, it's up 1,416. So it's already, why? Even though it's up a lot, because it's based. So if the stock is up a lot and doesn't accelerate, doesn't go vertical, or is up a lot and bases, then you can always continue to play it higher. But if it goes vertical, like the VKTX, then you just move on because now the reward to risk is just not there. There's way too much risk and very little reward because it's already made the move. You see what I mean?
Yeah, maybe just time to let that one go.
Absolutely.
Yes, since you brought up AMD, why don't we take a look at our good friend Nvidia, because that's another one. It's like, who knows, maybe this is it. And then SMCI after that, because that's always just a fun one.
Yeah. So here's the thing about the Nvidia. This is just a grind up, beautiful, sustainable. To make it even more sustainable, it pulled in. Like if the stock is up, 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 and then accelerates, that's not sustainable. But when it's up and then pulls back, it refreshes the buyers. There's like a new set of buyers now. Then it gapped up. If you think this is the top, then this is when it should have topped out under that bar's low. But look, it's already gapping up. It's already moving back up. Nvidia is not done yet. I can almost guarantee it. SMCI, I don't think it's done, but do I think this is gonna be the top for a long time to come? Yes. I don't know if it's done, but notice this is different. So you saw the difference between, you saw Nvidia was just a grind up. Look at the SMCI. Up, okay, grind, and then now it starts to accelerate. Never pulled in, goes vertical. So that was actually a really good short that day. So SMCI, I wouldn't touch. Nvidia, I think, is still okay. But of the three, I mean, this is the one. AMD is the one to be in right now. Let's take a look at the INTC. I think it's been really weak. Let's take a look at ARM. ARM is better than SMCI, I think, but it's pretty sloppy and gappy and all over the place. This looks a whole lot better. I mean, just look at this. That's AMD. So of the semis, the semiconductor stocks, that's the one I would be in.
Okay, you heard it from Sami. AMD is the one he would be in. Okay, why don't we move on to small caps? So IWM, because David, I are on one of our recent calls. You said on February 8th, you said you liked IWM, and it's been doing pretty well. What are you seeing there?
So if you look at the IWM monthly chart, again, you're seeing that 20 MA, which is why I like it, which is I'm very heavy in the ARK, ARKK. It's the same thing. It's transitioning. So that's why I like the IWM, is because it's transitioning on the monthly chart. And I think a lot of the small cap stocks are also transitioning. So they look good for the long haul. Now, you might say, well, what about the Qs? Isn't that stronger? Or the SPY? That's the monthly chart of the Q. Yes, they're very strong. If you're in them, great, keep them. I'm not suggesting to get out. I don't think we're at a top at all. I'm not suggesting. But if you were to be getting in right now, if you were to be looking for a new play, what would you go with? The SPY that's up 4 months in a row, and the Qs the same? Or would you be going with something that's just starting to transition, that looks really terrific on the every time frame? Look at the monthly. It's a monthly buy setup. So that's why I like the IWM. And that's why I also suggested ARK as a couple of weeks ago. I suggested it as an index because it has like 37 companies in it. And I checked the holdings. They're mostly pretty good. Remember, I suggested it on that weekly buy setup. It's looking good. I mean, I like it. I wish Kathy would I would do it for free, would hire me to tell her what stocks out of the 37 or 36 that she has in the ARK I would let go of. And I would gladly tell her, because there's some that don't look good and they're probably dragging the ARK, like the Roku failed. I mean, this thing is failed. Don't be she's adding to it. Please don't be adding to it, because I'm in the ARK long. I have over 4,000 shares of ARK, 4,500 shares to be exact. So I'd love for ARK to take off, but it's up. I mean, it's up 23,000. It's up a lot. But I'd love for my target on it is $70. I called it in the newsletter. I called it multiple times actually, because there were multiple entries on it. My target is $70, but I feel like there's a few stocks in there that are dragging it down. So otherwise, I also like it higher, just like I do with the IWM, except this is much more volatile than the IWM.
Okay, interesting, Sami. So ARK is up 13% this month, but do you know what the number one holding in ARK is?
Yeah, it's Coinbase.
Yep, it's Coinbase. I thought it was interesting. So
number
Sami,
two is Tesla. which sucks
Yeah.
because Tesla's been a dog.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like Kathy Wood must be in kind of a tough place because if she gets a whole bunch of money and she has to put it to work,
I
and
agree.
I don't know, she does make some wild predictions. So let's
She does, and when they pan out, she's a hero. And when they don't, you know, I don't know. She's she trades on the edge for sure. Unlike, she doesn't play it safe like a lot of the other hedge fund managers. I guess, you know, kudos to her.
yeah let's give her. We have enough plain vanilla ETFs. It's fun to have some like some wild things out there. Have a little excitement in our lives. Okay, so Sammy, is there anything else you're looking at right now that you like?
Um, I mentioned the China, the Chinese online education stocks, but they're a little late now. The TAL, the Got You from the Chinese sector, they're. I mean, you might say late. It's just starting. You're right. It's just starting, but it more than doubled. So I like the Got You and the TAL, but I mean, again, right now they're a bit late. I mean, look at the move. So Got You, I have. I had 5,000 shares, but I think I sold 1,000. So Got You, I have, yeah, no, I sold 1,500 actually. I have 3,500 shares. So, anyways,
Is it is it funny how Sammy just like this is what we're dealing with Sammy. He forgets if he forgets about 1,000 shares. He can't remember if he bought or sold 1,000 shares.
I,
Um,
I
God
have
bless
over
us all
50
if we ever get to
positions.
that point.
I have over 50 positions, Mike. That's what's going on. In fact, by the time I find the stock, in my account, sometimes it takes me a minute. I have to like remember the alphabet. Oh, what comes before the G or what comes out. Anyways, so yeah, I like those education stocks. I'm in the yen, but it did crash on me yesterday, so I don't know. I hope it holds. You see how the yen transitioned? That's the leveraged FXI, which is Chinese. I don't know. I hope this time it works, but I like it a lot. But I didn't like the gap yesterday. I don't like the weakness today. But I think the FXI or so FXI, what happened is this is the Chinese ETF, but I like the yen because it's the leveraged. If you look at the monthly chart, so down so much, right? Retested the all-time low, which is the '09 low, and then it's creating a triple bottom, a double bottom, and then from all. So it's like a triple bottom. I'm hoping this is the bottom. I'm betting it's the bottom, but so I like China a lot. I hope that it works out this time. Of the Chinese stocks or from the Chinese stocks, I like the education stocks the most. The Got You, the TAL, and I do like some of the other ones too, like XPEV is just starting. That's it's just starting that curl. That's a, what do you call it? An EV. LI is wonderful, but it's too late. I missed it. So the LI is too far gone. So I like the XPEV. I like the online education stocks. I think the MNST probably bottomed. I'm sorry, not the MNST, MNSO. It probably bottomed if you look at the weekly chart. No, the monthly actually. The nice pullback to support. That's Chinese also. So those ones I like. I got the OKTA yesterday. I think that's probably the bottom. I got the GDRX also. I think that's the bottom. So there's a lot of these stocks that are turning the corner on the monthly. Square looks nice. Zillow looks pretty good to me, but it needs to pop. It needs to take out this bar's high from a couple months ago. I'm in it already, but so there's Zillow, there's Carvana, but Carvana is also a bit late. I got the Carvana before earnings, and so Carvana letter C, right? The average is 52.77 on the Carvana, but it has plenty of room. So a lot of these, again, a lot of these monthly charts that are transitioning are my favorite watches, right, or my favorite ideas right now.
Okay, all right, okay, folks. So we do have a little special something for you guys that actually benefits you because Sammy got sick last week. So his opening rush course was supposed to happen last week, but it's happening this Saturday. So you can actually join it as part of a special offer. So Sammy is a brand new service called $10 Swing Trader. So if you like volatile stocks that really move, you want to join this service. If you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, the link is down in the description. If you're watching on Twitter, the link is in the tweet, t3live.com/S10. And again, it's Sammy's new service focusing on trading stocks under $10. You get 3 to 5 ideas every Sunday, entry, stops, targets, and it's $79 for the whole year. Yes, $79 for the whole year, which is in New York City, that gets you like a carton of eggs and a cup of coffee. So $79, amazing deal for the year. And as a bonus, you get the Opening Rush live course, which is this Saturday, which Sami is teaching live, which is all about opening gaps, and the recording is included if you can't make it. So again, this is a $374 total value. You get 1 year of the newsletter, and you get the Opening Rush live course, which is normally $295. Again, $79 just for you because we like you in honor of Sammy's, magnificent call on Coinbase. We are doing this for you. So guys, go to t3live.com/S10. The link is down in the video description, and you can learn live with Sami this weekend. So Sami, my friend, thank you for joining me. Always fun. Thank you for giving all these amazing insights. And again, a few weeks ago, guys, he gave you Coinbase and it doubled. So we really hope you pay attention to what Sami's doing for you. Thank you, Sami.
Thanks, Mike. Thanks, everybody.